Nurse who saved lives by day and took them by night. Hospitals are supposed to be places of healing, where pain meets compassion and the fight for life never ends. But what happens when the person you trust most, the nurse holding your hand, whispering that everything will be alright, is the same person making sure it won't be? This is a haunting story of a woman who lived two lives. By day, she was a hero in scrubs. By night, she became the quiet force behind an inexplicable string of deaths. Her name was Evelyn Marsh, and for years, no one suspected the truth. Evelyn was everything a nurse should be, caring, gentle, and dedicated. At St. Augustine Medical Center, she was known as the Angel of the ICU. Families requested her by name. Doctors praised her calmness under pressure. She stayed late, comforted patients who had no visitors, and volunteered for extra shifts. But behind that warm smile was a storm no one could see. It began subtly with the belief that she was helping. When terminal patients begged for relief, Evelyn convinced herself she could provide it. A little extra morphine, a slightly higher dosage, a small push toward peace. At first, it was mercy, or so she told herself, until mercy turned into control. Between 2015 and 2020, the ICU saw an unusual number of sudden deaths, mostly elderly or terminal patients, all under Evelyn's care. Their charts were marked with a strange consistency. Stable one moment, gone the next. The doctors blamed fragile health, natural decline, or heart failure. But whispers began to spread among the staff. Nurses joked darkly that Evelyn's shift was the end of the line. They laughed it off, until one night, a colleague caught her doing something she shouldn't have. A fellow nurse, Jamie, entered a patient's room unexpectedly and found Evelyn holding a syringe that didn't match the medication order. Evelyn smiled, claiming it was for pain relief. But when Jamie checked the records later, there was no such prescription. The next morning, that patient was dead. Jamie reported the incident, but the hospital brushed it aside. Evelyn had spotless credentials, years of service, glowing evaluations. No one wanted to believe the beloved ICU nurse could be capable of harm, but the deaths continued. It wasn't until the family of a patient named Margaret Lowe demanded an independent review that the truth began to surface. Margaret had been recovering after a surgery, expected to be discharged within days. Evelyn had been her assigned nurse the night she died suddenly of heart failure. An autopsy revealed unusually high levels of morphine in Margaret's system, more than 10 times the prescribed amount. The hospital launched an internal audit, quietly reviewing every death in Evelyn's care. What they found was chilling. Over the course of 5 years, 37 patients had died under her supervision, all from sudden respiratory arrest, all with similar medication patterns. Many had been injected with unprescribed sedatives or opioids. Some had been cremated before tests could confirm cause of death.